Okay, so what do you do when you flat iron your hair and it looks more like a blowout? Because that's exactly what happened. This is June 8th, maybe about a year and a half after my big chop, and I didn't know what to do. So I went back to what I knew, what I did back when I was relaxed. So I started to wrap my hair with the paddle brush. It worked when I was relaxed. I mean, so I figured maybe it'll work now that my hair is straight-ish, but it was really thick and it took forever to actually get it wrapped, and I knew I wasn't going to be doing this every night to keep my hair stretched. So I figured I'd leave it on overnight and see what happened in the morning, and yeah, it stayed wrapped pretty good overnight, but then when I took it out, it just got fluffier and fluffier and fluffier and fluffier. So I had to find something else to do. And I remembered why I stopped wrapping my hair when I was relaxed, because it would hurt my scalp. Like, when you're trying to put your hair in the direction it doesn't want to go in, you know, your scalp will resist. So I had to figure out something else to do because I was still extremely fluffy, and I didn't really want to be that fluffy. I couldn't wear my hair down as it was, so I had to look for some other solutions. So I thought back to when I was relaxed. Once again, I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but if I just brushed my hair back and, you know, like oiled it down and everything and then wrapped it up like that, it would at least be somewhat close to the style that I would want in the morning when I unwrapped it. Worked way better than the first wrap. At this point, I started thinking more like I would now as a natural person. And I figured if I put it in a way and leave it overnight, maybe if I don't mess with it too much in the morning, it'll be intact. You know, like with the braid out, if you don't mess with it too much, it'll be okay and it won't get frizzy. So what I tried to do here was wrap up the front and put a big braid in the back, you know, to try to keep it moisturized and somewhat stretched so it wouldn't revert completely by the time I woke up. But the braid immediately fell out, so that didn't really work. So on to plan B. I remembered a video that I saw about banding for natural hair, and that's used to stretch your natural hair, but since it's already blown out, I figured it couldn't hurt, so I tried it. So I think if this happens again the next time I try to straighten my hair, I'll go to banding first and skip all the other steps. So if you're having the same issue, I just saved you a bunch of time because the other ways are not going to work. Don't try to do your relaxer techniques on your natural hair because it's not the same texture at all. So taking it out was fairly simple. All you do is just take off the rubber bands or the scrunchies or hair ties or whatever you use. And it's still like nice and smooth and everything in the morning. But I live in Florida and it's hot and humid outside, so obviously as soon as I stepped out the door it like frizzed up again, but that's okay. I was able to preserve it for a while. And I used this scrunchy headband type thing, generally for white people's hair, but I had this in mind when I bought it, so, and it worked out pretty well. At this point, you just want to tuck the teeth into your hair so it doesn't slide around. That way, at least the front will stay somewhat straight and the back can be as free as it wants to be. But the headband won't move. My biggest issue when my hair was ever straight is that the headband would always slide off, and I was able to avoid that with this thing. So I'm probably going to be spending the next few minutes playing with my hair, trying to get it to do whatever. So I guess now would be a good time to mention that this was about a year and a half post Big Chop. So I haven't even reached 2 years yet, and this is the length I've gotten to. This was June 8th, and my Big Chop was, let's see, Black Friday of 2013. And this is June 8th, 2015. So we're on our way to 2 years now. So I don't straighten my hair often, so every time I do it, it's like a learning curve. But if you have any suggestions on what kind of products I could use, or, you know, little tips and things, I greatly appreciate it. If there's anything that'll keep your hair from reverting, any tips for the climate that I'm living in, because it's hot and humid, that would be so great. On the plus side, because my hair was stretched, I was able to test out a new style, which is now my new go-to style. It's very quick and easy. I can do it right out the shower, and it doesn't take forever to do. And I can even do it without using any tools. So stay tuned for that video because it'll be linked down below. And please believe I am still happy to be nappy.